morning, dear colleagues. I would like to invite you once again into the realm of aesthetic surgery, where we are going to ask some very simple yet significant questions about two very hot topics. But first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Mihály Géczi. I'm working on the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the Semmelweis University. My supervisors are Szabolcs Várbíró and Levente Sára. And my mission is to aim for perfection in aesthetic surgery. And my vision is naturally to find the best methods which allow the best functional and aesthetical outcome. So we wanted to investigate two very hot topics. One of them is the female genital beautification concept, basically a new method, new group of labiaplasty, and of course the most desired one, aesthetic breast surgery, augmentation, and so on. Our first project would investigate the effect of female genital beautification concept and rejuvenation on patient-reported outcomes. We started the project last September, and our planned submission was May this year. The background of it, so many women are not really pleased with the looks or the size of their outer genitalia, so they want it to be modified. Not a long time ago, these kind of operations consisted only by a simple resection of the labia minora. However, nowadays it really outgrew itself and became a whole industry. Nowadays we can talk about conventional methods, and also we can experience every 3 or 2 years some new methods to arise. We wanted to investigate might these new methods have some advantage compared to the older ones. But let's cut to the chase. Every intervention has basically the same purpose: to alter the female outer genitalia to better functioning and looking outcome. A little bit about the background. So the demand for these kind of operations in the last few years really just skyrocketed. It is one of the most desired aesthetic surgery nowadays in the world. And we can confidently say that these kind of operations are mostly safe and end up with very high satisfaction as an outcome. But in plastic surgery, we are not really pleased by mostly and very much. We aim for perfection. So our investigation or research would be to compare these kind of methods to each other and see what the outcome was, what the satisfaction outcome was. Our question naturally derives from our main goal, which is the safest and most satisfactory method or methods used in the female genital beautification concept. We investigated women who underwent some kind of operation in the group of this genital beautification concept. We compared all kinds of labiaplasty to each other, and our primary outcome would be patient satisfaction, and we wanted to see is there any difference in complications in these kind of methods. Our hypothesis was maybe newly emergent techniques of labiaplasty are superior than conventional older ones. We did our research with the nice search key below, and running down the rabbit hole, we found 56 eligible full text, and our strengths would be in our investigation, there was some meta-analysis before, but in our investigation, we could find and we could evaluate and integrate a lot more papers and data included. We excluded some case reports, and we refined the classification a little bit to make it easier to compare them to each other. And to be honest, this is the first real comparison between these methods, which involves all the methods of labiaplasty nowadays. Of course, nothing can be perfect. We have some limitations too. The patients are unfortunately highly heterogenic. In this case, we can't really find RCTs. It is impossible to do an RCT in this situation. And there is no widely used score system which would help us in the comparison. We found some interesting outcomes. For example, there was significant difference in patient satisfaction and also, especially, in dehiscence from the complications. Our conclusion would be there is a significant difference which we can see from our outcomes. Maybe tailored, patient-focused intervention or simple, easily carried out interventions like laser or depitalization, as we have seen in our outcomes, give a little bit of benefit. The implication for practice would be we should use patient-focused interventions. We should tailor these kind of operations for the patient's needs. And there should be, or could be very good, strictened patient follow-up and questionnaire, which would ease us to compare these methods to each other and, of course, to find out which method is better in long term. And, of course, there is some implication in research too. In the future, it would be delightful to find a better way to define indications for labiaplasty. And, of course, the very important thing, to map out a new, universally usable satisfaction score system. I think we've finished with everything. Our journal selection would be a nice little journal in the United States, which accepted our paper already. So we submitted it, accepted it. And now, allow me to resettle to our second topic, which would be, of course, aesthetic breast surgery. By all means, aesthetic breast surgery is the most desired aesthetic surgery in the world. Every year, more than 1.5 million women undergo these kind of operations, and naturally, or mostly, these women are in the fertile age, which raises an important question. The average age of the patient is 33 years, which means that it interferes a lot of time with family planning. Nowadays, we know already that breastfeeding is not just important because of the transportation of some nutrients into the baby, but also it plays a very, very, very huge role in physical and psychological development in the baby. And we also know that, unfortunately, unwittingly, sometimes during these operations we are damaging some nerves and, of course, some glands in the breast, which raises a very important question. Do aesthetic breast surgeries impair the function of breastfeeding? Because I imagine the future with beautiful breasts and healthy children. Of course, our clinical question derives from this huge problem. How do different types of aesthetic breast surgeries affect breastfeeding? We wanted to investigate women in puerperium who underwent some kind of aesthetic breast surgery. We are comparing different types of aesthetic breast surgery, and what we want to see at the end of the day, the change in breastfeeding rate and length. And we want to see the impact on lactation, how different it is between different techniques of aesthetic breast surgery. So maybe it would be, or implication would be that maybe it would be advisable to wait a little bit with aesthetic breast surgery by family planning, or to choose for example, some less harming way of augmentation or aesthetic breast surgery, which have a smaller impact on breastfeeding. We did our search with the search key below, and we found 47 eligible texts in the end. We already finished with the data extraction. We registered in Prospero, and as far as I can hear, from the new world, it echoes through the ocean. They can't wait to publish our next paper too. Thank you for your attention. And to infinity and beyond always.
Thank you for your presentation. In your second topic, did you investigate any kind of confounding factors? Like not simply the aesthetic surgery can have an impact on breastfeeding, but for example, cesarean section can reduce it. And did the two groups compared by these two?
Yes, we are planning to. It's an ongoing project, but yes, you're perfectly right that we have to differentiate between these groups in our research. So women who had C-section and of course women with natural per vaginal birth, naturally. So we are naturally planning that. Thank you.
I would like to congratulate you, but I don't know on what, because you haven't shown us any result.
Oh, let's get back then. Let's get back then.
Or I missed something, the first paper.
First paper, let's go back.
Or have
I will show some forest plots.
had a blackout? Oh, sorry.
Exactly.
I had a blackout then.
No problem.
Okay. Congratulations. Good.
Thank you so much.
I would like to know if you plan on creating a scoring system. You said that there is none.
There is 4 different scoring systems right now available. I think I can even show you which these are. We reported three scoring systems. The problem is that these papers, almost all of the papers are using different kind of scoring systems. So there is not a universally used one, which makes it really hard because these scoring systems, yeah, they are almost the same, but still it is hard to statistically compare, for example, satisfaction rates, because the questionnaires are just a slightly bit different.
Okay, so there is not a gold standard maybe?
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
And these are validated questionnaires? Or?
These are, yes.
Okay,
yes,
they are not
yes,
proposed
yes.
by the authors?
Yes, these are, but they are pretty much different,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, thank you.